Hi there, so today we are going to be making bread pudding, which is a traditional Italian dessert. So the main ingredient in bread pudding is bread, and I am choosing to use white bread. And what you want to do with your bread is cube it so that you get some nice little even cubes for your pudding. And then another main component of your bread pudding is when you're finished baking it, you typically cover it with like a cream sauce. Traditionally, as Irish culture does it, it's covered in like a whiskey or bourbon sauce, but I'm going to be covering it in a vanilla sauce. So the first thing you want to do is measure out all of your ingredients, and you will need a saucepan since we are going to be making the primary part of our pudding on the stove. So let's take your bread cubes and a half cup of raisins, and you're going to mix that together in a large bowl. Once that is well mixed, you are going to take your 2 cups of milk and pour that into a medium-sized saucepan. And additionally, you are going to add a 1/4 cup of salted butter to that. And now we are going to head over the stove to cook this until the butter is fully melted, and then we will add that back to our bowl of bread and raisins. Alright, so make sure your boiler is on medium heat, and you're just going to stir this around, let that butter get melted and then evenly distributed in the milk mixture. And this should take about 4 to 7 minutes. You just want to make sure that your butter is completely melted in the pot. Okay, so our butter milk mixture has been completely melted and incorporated into one liquid over the stove top in our saucepan. So now we are going to pour the contents from our saucepan into our mixture of bread and raisins. Then we are going to let this stand for 10 minutes so that everything gets incorporated and the bread soaks up the butter and milk mixture very nicely. And make sure to evenly spread this so that the liquid is not just concentrated in one part of the bread mixture. You want to get every piece of bread soaked. We have let our bread pudding stand with the milk mixture for about 10 minutes, and we are going to add the rest of our ingredients now. So what you will need is a half cup of granulated white sugar, and sprinkle that in. 2 large lightly beaten eggs. A tablespoon of vanilla. And a half teaspoon of nutmeg. Now you're going to stir all that together so that you get a nice even mixture with everything evenly distributed. Okay, so now that that is all distributed and ready, I have 2 ceramic bowls here that are typically like bread pudding bowls that you can use for this, and I have greased them. So now we are going to add our bread pudding mixture. And there is a little lip here. I prefer to add it just up to that crease where the lip meets the side of the bowl. Alright, and then just repeat this step with your other bowls. Now we have our bread pudding filled, so we are going to put it in the oven And the temperature you want is 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're going to cook this for about 30 to 40 minutes or until the center of the bread pudding is set. Alright, now we will be making the sauce for our bread pudding, and this is our vanilla sauce. So what you're going to want to do is put a half cup of white cane sugar, a half cup of tightly packed brown sugar, a half cup of whipping cream, and a half cup of butter in a saucepan. And you're going to want to stir this until it gets really thick, so probably about 5 to 8 minutes, and until everything is melted and incorporated. So this is the final product of the sauce. It has thickened and incorporated all the ingredients together. So now we added a tablespoon of vanilla to give the sauce some flavor. And we are going to let this sit until our bread pudding is done cooking, which should be in just a little bit. So our bread pudding has just come out of the oven and it's still a little warm, but you can see this is what it looks like. It's kind of golden brown on the top, and that's kind of what you're looking for to make sure that it is all done in the middle. And then what you would do is take your vanilla cream sauce and just drizzle a little bit over as much to your liking. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks.